we bleed green. It's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. It's Pete the Squad. Big Pat, Shell, and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them. Drop the facts on them. It's Hurricane, baby. Let's get it on.
Yeah, that's what you have it. Eagles, our Philadelphia Eagles dropped 27-17 to the New York Football Giants. This is what I didn't want to talk about. I tried to come out and be the fanatic Eagles fan, but this is exactly what I was worried about going into this game. That the New York Giants were, and nobody wanted to hear it because I tried to utter a little bit of this on Thursday's show. Nobody wanted to hear it, but I told you guys it was a game I was worried about because the New York Giants were beginning to play better. Although they had a 2-7 record every week, this is one team in the NFC East. As bad as this division is, this is one team that is getting better week by week. Now that better doesn't always translate into wins, but just as the announcer said on the program, these guys have been up by double digits in multiple games this year. They just was not able to finish. But today, they were able to finish against our woeful Philadelphia Eagles. Let me just bring in our special guest shot taker. Nichelle is on the line. Nichelle is here. Nobody is happy. My co-host is not happy. Nichelle doesn't look happy. Uh, you guys, I'm just going to jump right into it. What was your thoughts on the game? Nichelle, what was your thoughts?
Uh, I mean, after the first quarter, I just didn't feel good about it at all. They started sluggish on both sides of the ball, and they didn't stick to the run like I thought they should have. We were a couple of let Deuce turn the boys loose. When we did that, we scored. Whether it's Sanders, Scott, Corey Clement, or Scott, Sanders, Corey Clement, just we have to stick with those cats, and we don't, and that's the problem. That's the problem. They should have got more touches than they did, and I think that was part of the issue why we couldn't put up more than 17 points today.
Yeah, that was a bad 17 points. Looking for the offense to come out. We said that Doug Peterson was going to be a key. Him and the way he designed this offensive play calling today, and neither one paid off today. The offense was kind of sluggish. We had moments where we show flashes, and then to be fair, I think they pulled the stat up in the third or fourth quarter. We were really close in offensive production and time of possession, but we just did not do enough on offense. Just did not do enough. And then I don't believe I talked this long and have not mentioned the horrendous job that the defense did, especially in the first half. They were still playing like they were on bye week with the Giants coming down and scoring in the first couple of possessions. That was a horrible showing by Jim Schwartz. What do you think, Pat?
Um, this got to stop, dude. Just going for 2-point conversions, chasing these points. You're successful running the football, then you want to go for a gimmick play, and he needs to give up the duties of play calling. I know everybody's saying we need to get rid of Doug Peterson, whatever. That's not going to happen. Let's be real. The one thing that can happen with him is him relegating those duties of play caller for the offense, because there's no flow to the game. There is absolutely no flow to the game. You hit on a couple short inside screen pass plays that work perfectly. They got 3 or 4 yards off it, and you can't stick to it. Then all of a sudden, you got a running back that runs off 14 yards, busts off 14 yards. And what you call next play? A sack. Come on, you got to be much more in tune with what your offense is doing at the particular time of the game. You got to have a flow. If you don't have a flow, this is what happens. You put up 17 points. We barely put up 17 points. Let's be real. That's really wasn't 17 points. It's only 17 because we went for that 2-point conversion. Or it's more or less 16, 15, whatever points we might have been. This guy needs to get rid of the play calling duties. And don't get me started on this defense. This defense is soft as candy. Like, come on. If a quarterback runs the ball, you should be taking this effing head off. Like, you should be trying to get that personal foul, taking his head off. Like, it shouldn't even be any question if it was a personal foul. Take his head off. If this shot was here and say there's Jeremiah Trotter, somebody coming downhill, yes, they will rip this freaking helmet off. That's what you got to do. You got to stop playing this pity pat football in these corners. You're in the right position. Stop playing the man. Play the ball. Make a play on the ball. This is horrible. Both sides of the ball is horrible right now.
I agree. Some good points. I know. No
None,
one wants
none,
to talk about
none.
good points right now. But look, Carson Wentz threw the ball away a lot more today.
Are you
He
kidding
had
me,
to throw the
man?
ball away more than I've seen him throw the ball away all year. That's got to be a good sign. I mean, to look for anything, if we're going to pull any type of sunshine out of this rainy day, I would say that. I would say that he also took a little bit more of what the defense gave him by throwing underneath a lot and stuff like that. I did see that. Um, yeah, but I do agree. We said it earlier that Doug Peterson probably needs to give up the play calling duties. I don't know if he's going to do that. I don't know. But that would be, to me, that would be a sign of a good coach. We talk about we want to see the maturation of
Mhm.
Carson Wentz in these games. We also want to see the maturation of the coach also. And if we can't see that, and it's hard to, you can't when you're the one that has to make the decision, it's kind of hard, I guess, taking a look in the mirror. But if he cannot mature in his play calling, feeling the flow of the offense and how it's going,
That was me.
and call his plays accordingly, like you said, if you ripping off runs at a tremendous clip,
Five. Let's
why
let's
not?
see this. Let's see how per yards. We was rushing the ball today. Uh, let's see. 6.8 as a team. 6.8 as a team. You had Miles
6.8.
Sanders at 5.7. Of course, you had Boston Scott at a big clip because of that big run, 21 yards a clip. But in the course of a football game, if you're going to be dominant, you got to run the ball up front and continue to run the ball. You got to go back with it until they can actually stop it. If they're able to stop it on first and second down, then you go back into the pass. I know everybody's asking for where's the RPO. Can we do the RPO? That's not something that is. This coach doesn't know how to mature that into the play calling. So it's.
Oh man,
I'm,
I
I'm stuck.
understand. I
I'm
understand.
stuck, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he has got to feel the flow of what's going on with his offense. And like you said before, if we are running at an incredible clip, I know you have to mix it up at some time, but it's at no point should you be going away from the run for as long as stretches as he was doing it when your run game is being successful. And I think that's a key to this team this year. Looking at the makeup, we can't go back to 2017 as Nichelle said in the pregame that we don't have that personnel. So we have to feel and deal with the personnel we have now. So we need to run the ball. We need to take the ball out of Carson's hands sometimes, although, again, I said he made some good decisions today. He threw the ball away more than I've seen him throw away at any time this year. He took a lot of what they were giving him underneath. Like you pointed out before we came on the air, Pat, some of the lack of the passing game was not his fault all the time. There was a lot of drop balls where
Man.
where the receivers didn't do their part. Uh, Overall, though, just not a good look for this team today, going down 27-17. But I have to take my hats off to the Giants. I know you guys didn't want to hear it. And then Pat's comment in my last show is why I took the route that I took this time, because he basically challenged me like, "Come on, it's the Giants.
What I
They
say that?
talking about this. You did. We got the tape. You can go back and like look at this, look at that." I'm like, okay. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, we're in no position to be laughing at any team in the NFL right now. We're in no position to be acting arrogant at all. So I'm not, and our team is not doing that.
Our teams are trash.
Our
I
team
mean,
is not doing that, but
let's
sometimes
be
our fan
real.
base does it, and
We
that gets me upset.
we have a very dynamic running back that can't catch the ball. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Miles Sanders. He's a Penn State guy. He makes things happen when he has the ball in his hand. But he was targeted five times, and out of the 5 times, he caught the ball only twice. And out of those 5 times, it was one uncatchable. I would say uncatchable ball, and the other time the ball hit him directly in his hands. So you got to make when you're able to make a play and the ball is coming in your hands, you got to make that play. You got to be a quarterback helper. You cannot be the person that's putting the team down by not catching the ball. You get paid on offense to hold the rock. Do it.
All right, let me go to some comments. Look, this is on the screen and it's appropriate. Yo, y'all got to give Nichelle a contract. She knows football and rounds out you fellas. I
Yes.
agree that you have been wonderful today, Nichelle.
Thank you.
I see and I respect you in this chat room, but it does you no justice as compared to what you do when you're on the air.
Mhm.
We definitely got to have you back. We got to have you back.
All
Um,
right.
Yeah,
with
I'm not
that being
snapping.
said,
I'm not snapping because you're.
we're with that being said, we are now firing Patrick Sandlin. No, I'm
Oh, why you
joking.
firing me?
I'm joking. I'm
Well, can I
joking.
do
I'm
my shot
joking.
at least? Can I do my shot at least?
No, I'm only, all right. Yeah, we need to get a shot of here because this is not a great look. This is a miracle that we can even laugh after the game we just witnessed today. So, but let's take this shot, man. Not a good time, but we still enjoy ourselves. We're fans, and then one thing for certain, we're not getting traded. We're not going to be fired. We're going to be here for the long run. So we might as well suck it up and get it in. All right, get the shots ready, man. I'm still practicing
I got my shot ready
sober
already.
November, so I'm doing a shot of water. Pat is doing. You still doing tequila, Pat?
Yes, I'm doing Terramana Tequila,
You're doing Terramana tequila.
the
Uh,
Rock Tequila, I call
Michelle,
it.
you still doing your coffee drink? Still doing her coffee tequila shot.
Hmm.
So let's do it. Let's take it down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles on their disappointing loss. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, not good. Not a good
Whew.
game. All right, so let me go to some more comments here. I didn't hear from enough people here. Good Joe Gunn says we're not about to praise Carlson for throwaways. He doesn't get he doesn't get over $100 million to get praised for throwaways. All right, well if you've seen the earlier Carson Wentz, man, that's probably all we got to celebrate this year is the fact that he's throwing it away. All right, look, Patero says went for 4 for 10. Fired Doug today. Yeah, a lot of fourth down tries. Just some play calls were just baffling, man. That second 2-point attempt. What? Why? Why? For what? For why?
He
You went
didn't need
for it
to.
the
You
first
chasing
time,
points.
which I questioned that, but he made it, and I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, good. Now we have a 3-point deficit here. This is good moving, further along in the game. But he goes for it again when there's no need to go for it.
Mhm.
And then we're back to a 4-point deficit, and now you have to have a touchdown. Even I just it just baffles the mind some of the decisions he's made. Wentz is garbage, hot garbage. Sue, yo, what's up, Sue? Missed you in the pregame, but she's back for the postgame. She says disgusting. Yeah, I posted on social media during the game. The game was making my eyes hurt just
Yeah,
watching it.
yeah, it was.
Um, Jeffrey rebuild the team. About the time to tear it down. Starting with the coaching staff. All right, I'm sorry. They're just getting on my nerves now. Palatero, Doug, Jim, and Howie has to go. I don't think Howie has to go. Doug and Jim though, I think they can go.
No,
Howie
Jim's
can stay
gone.
only because I like Howie's salary cap.
Yeah,
His
he's a
management of
wizard.
salary cap, but
Hmm.
he definitely needs to get a personnel person in there to conduct the draft. Let's put it that way, because he's not good in draft.
Not at
Sue
all.
says defense sucks. Schwartz needs to go. Yeah, we're back to that. Steve Shore, great day to my big cousin Pat. I love you, cousin. Also, my fellow deacon. All right, all right. That's family just poking fun at Pat. Anthony A's. Doug is going to give the players ice cream and say, "Go to your safe safe space." Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
the feeling you have that he's that type of coach, and you don't want that type of coach now. I mean, I
no.
thank Doug. I'll always be forever grateful that he brought us to Super Bowl. But again, we don't need a coach that's going to treat these players like they're fine china. We need a
Hmm.
coach that's going to treat these players like they're football players. Eagles become the pigeons. Wow. People are killing them. Terrible. Yo, Dante, your eyes hurt.
You,
Why? That's
you know what?
Dwight, Chicago. I mean, Giants fan. I'm not even gonna put it.
Yeah,
I
you
love
know
you,
what it
Dwight,
is.
but I don't feel like it. I
You know
don't
what it
feel it
is?
today.
Even though we're so down on this game, and we're down on this team. Let's be real. I mean, what was it 3-5-1? How can you take anything positive from this team? You just came off a bye, and you come out that flat. Like you come out so flat that this team goes down the field and run the ball on you and score in their first possession and laugh at you, and you don't have you don't do anything in return. Like this is horrible, man.
I
This is
mean, we
horrible to
moved the
watch.
ball. Now,
We
I'm
kicked the
not being
field
fanatic,
goal.
Dante. Now,
We
I'm
kicked,
not. I
we
am
kicked the
not.
field goal. We should have, if anything, we should have came back down there and scored. Jason Kelsey
But
throwing the
that
ball
game
to
was
the
still
ground.
within reach. So I mean, at that point, early in the quarter, yeah, it was bad that we gave up a touchdown on the first drive. But in the way we've been playing, to come to even move the ball the way we did to get in position to score was something that I thought was a good thing at that point in the game, and get points, coming away with points was not huge because we didn't match a touchdown, but it was a 4-quarter game. So I'm figuring, all right, we're looking okay right now because we're moving the ball. It's a long game. But when they come down and score again, that's when I had a little trepidation. I was thinking, oh, all right, we just gave up 2 touchdowns, and it didn't look hard at all. It looked like we put up no resistance at all. So that worried
Mhm.
me a lot more than our first drive. My first drive, I felt okay. I wanted 7, of course, but I wasn't down and out on that after that first drive. I wasn't. Uh, some comments. What happens to blitzing? Philly always had aggressive defense, not so much under Schwartz. No, it's almost
Yeah,
like when he blitzes, it's out of character for him. What do you think,
yeah.
Mhm.
Michelle?
I'm not a fan of Jim Schwartz. Like you know what Eagles family I come from, the Jeremiah Trotters, the Hugh Douglases of the world.
Hmm.
I don't even understand this not blitzing half the time. I don't understand what he's doing. You have to put Doug Jones on his behind.
Yeah, thank you.
You have to put him on his behind.
Thank
You
you.
have to make him afraid not to run.
Hmm.
Old school Eagles would have put him on his back. Hugh Douglas would have ripped his helmet off, like you said earlier.
Hmm.
The Axeman would have came in. They would have piled on that man
Yeah.
over and over and over again, and that's what you have to do with those running quarterbacks. And Jim Schwartz, I don't know. And our D-backs, come on,
Oh yeah,
really, come on,
Maddox.
come on.
I got the comment up on the screen. Maddox and Coleman is hot trash. Man,
Who's
they
Coleman?
can't cover a dead man in the casket. Right, that's hard.
Oh, Nicky
All right.
Robin, Coleman. I'm like Coleman. Who the heck is Coleman? All right.
Yeah, Roby Coleman, the one that
Yeah.
dropped the interception there.
They hit him dead in
Ah,
his face, right through his hands. You know what, Michelle? What you just said about Jeremiah Trotter and Hugh Douglas. Like I met these guys. I see these guys play. That quarterback put it in the belly thing crap. First and foremost, our defensive line would have crashed that. So it would have been difficult for you actually to play action that in the first place. Second of all, if he was actually was to take that ball out of his gut, Jeremiah Trotter would not attack the running back. He would slid, look the quarterback dead in his eyes, put the crown of his helmet up his chin, and split his whole chin open and said, do it again. We don't have
Exactly.
that guy. We don't have that linebacker on this team. We got these guys that leg tackle, that barely tackles. And you know what? For a hardcore Philadelphia fan, it drives us nuts. It drives us nuts. You want the guy go out there. I know football is different nowadays, and you gotta be a little more softer. But still,
yeah,
it's
you
still
couldn't, because I'm
football. During the
thinking,
course of the play, you still gotta get somebody and let them know like I still would knock you out.
right? And I agree with that. They would have to take a penalty just to set the tone that
Mhm.
it's going to be like this all day. So if you figure you're going to run, you need to know we're going to kill you. So it will be worth that penalty. But that nowadays Jay Trotter could not take this and put it up in the guy's chin. He would be out of the guy. He would be out of the game now. I mean, come on, it's different rules
Hey,
now. I mean,
listen.
and this is well,
You're
I'm not
right.
going to blame it all on that, but this is the environment we're playing in. But I think it's a lot of scheme and philosophy that they're being taught by their defensive coordinator,
Which is trash. It's
and
terrible.
the
It's terrible.
personality of this defense reflects the personality of the defensive coordinator.
Soft.
So if it's soft, then right. I mean, Schwartz is soft. Oh man, what happened? Danny Griffin said, "What happened to our game plan, Dante. I don't.
You know what? This was
I
this
don't.
this was Darius Slayton. Like he had a great pass breakup, but this was like his worst game. He wasn't. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
if it was the defensive play call and having him play off the receiver. I don't know what it was, but he didn't look comfortable at all the whole game.
Well, we don't. I talked about it earlier. You don't bring in a great cover corner,
Mm.
man-to-man cover corner, and have him play a lot of zone. I mean, okay, maybe you have to have him play it sometimes, but
Hmm.
he made his name off of being a shutdown man-to-man cover corner. What we shouldn't be seeing him in zone as much as we see him, and that's probably why he doesn't feel comfortable or look comfortable, man.
Hmm.
This I can go on and on. We have a vote here for Nichelle as defensive coordinator next year. All right, we're going to start the
We
campaigning
blitzing
on
every
that.
other play.
Yo, you sell just like my brother. You sell just like my brother.
Yeah,
You
We
say
he
you know
sounds
blitzing
like
every
it will
other
be
play.
cover zero the whole game. Like, go ahead and run if you want.
Let
Cover
the
zero
chips
the
fall
whole.
if they may. We blitzing every other play.
JR says Winston shook, looked like he was trying to do way too much, not comfortable in the pocket. Kelsey throwing snaps at his feet didn't help either. Yeah, Kelsey did not have a
Yeah.
good game hiking the ball. Look, blocking, he did okay. I mean, he was the key block on that Boston Scott touchdown.
Hmm.
But what the heck happened to? I mean, just hiking the
And
ball. Like,
snap.
look,
Terrible.
look. Bottom line, all right. We talked about this team coming out and being sluggish. That's on coaching right there. If your team is not prepared at the start of the game, I don't care if they're not ready to play. That has to reflect on the coach, right? And to look at it further, we should not be surprised because Doug Peterson is like 1-5 or 1-6 now, coming off a bye. He's not very good coming off a bye, and it just extended his streak of not being good coming off a bye. I don't know. Everybody check his record for the game after the bye. Maybe he does better then because
No, he's
he,
1-5.
he's one. I'm talking about the
Mhm.
game after the bye game,
Oh, he's better.
like
He's
next
much
week,
better. Yeah,
like
he's
next
much,
week's game.
he's
Check his
better
record on that
prepared.
because we need him to be better next week because unfortunately we can't give up. We can't give up because we're still leading this division. As horrible as we look today,
That
we are
tie.
still leading this division.
That's
But
terrible.
guess what? Anybody want to pull back their second half record predictions yet?
No, listen.
Because
Before we do that, I want to say this, and it has to do with our special teams. All right. I understand the philosophy of the ball's over your head at the 10-yard line, as far as the punt wise, you let it go. But if that ball is just within your eyesight within that 10-yard frame, you catch that ball because chances are, especially if the guys are barreling down, they're going down that punt within the 5-yard line. And the problem with our special team return team is that we don't put our dynamic playmakers back there. Jalen Rager is a punt returner. I love Greg Ward. He catch the ball. That's all we ask him to do is catch the ball, not make a run, not get 15 yards after the run, just catch the ball.
yep,
But
that's all we want.
that's all we want. But at the same time, if you're out there, catch the ball, regardless of if it's in that frame of 5 to 10, catch the ball because it looks like since the beginning of the season to now that every time they let that ball go over their head after that 10 yards, it's always down within that 5-yard line. Always.
All right, we have an intern in the chat room. Jaquez has looked it up. He says he's undefeated the week after the bye game. So, all right, next week, who we play next week?
Oh,
We have
who
Browns.
we play the Browns
The
next
Browns.
week. Yeah.
All right, so we got the Browns game. Don't worry about it, guys. We're going to bounce back. We're going to be 4-5-1. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. One of these teams has to go to playoffs, man. And this sucks.
Playoffs.
One of these teams has to go to the playoffs. And right now, we're the leading candidate to do so. And when you look at the way we've been playing, who wants to really see that? I only
Wait a
want to
minute.
see.
Wait a minute. No. You're not going to sit there and say that. I'm gonna throw this flag at you.
What?
Flag on the play.
Who wanted to
He just
see
wanted to
us?
throw that.
Yeah, I did.
Say
Who wanted
what?
to see us at 4-5-1? Are you kidding me, dude?
He
Are
said
you
what?
kidding
What?
me?
I'm sorry. Back up. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
You said who would want to see us? Who would want to see us in the playoffs?
No, I said who wants to see us in the playoffs, meaning out of our
Every
fan base.
single team.
No, I said out of our fan base,
Okay,
who
okay,
really wants to
okay,
see
okay,
us in the
okay,
playoffs? That's what I meant.
okay. All
Out
right.
of our fan base, who really wants to see
You
our
cleaned that up
team
real
go to the
good.
playoffs? That's what I meant. Like, do you want to see us in the playoffs playing like we playing?
Listen,
I mean, who
I
really
want us
wants
in the
to see
playoffs
this
every year.
team in the playoffs
I'm an avid
playing the
Eagles
way
fan.
we are?
I'm an
Yeah,
avid
I
Eagles
am.
fan, and I would love our team to go to the playoffs every year, regardless of what the record is. Because let's be honest, our drafting our drafting in the previous years has been terrible. So therefore, I'd rather see us in the playoffs with the opportunity, with the slight chance of getting deep into the playoffs, than going 2-9, 2-14, whatever it might be, and getting a high draft pick, because we might miss out on that most times. We
I
probably
don't
take a
know.
JJ Whiteside over DK Metcalf and have Sherman cursing me out.
All right, so you telling me, all right, this is good. I mean, we're going to talk about the game, but this is good. You mean to tell me you would not rather see us have a top 5 pick
Nope.
rather than go to the playoffs and know we're not going to win
No.
anything?
No.
No,
You
no.
think we would fumble a top 5 pick?
Yep.
You think how we mess up a top 5
Yes.
pick?
Yes.
Wow.
Can't trust it.
Yeah.
The last time we had a top 5 pick was Carson Wentz. Did he screw that up? I'm asking for real. Do we think he screwed that up? I'm just taking a
I'm
poll.
gonna go back to that show.
Amongst us.
I'm gonna go back to that show. And I'm gonna be honest with you. In that show, I think I said I wanted us to draft, and Sherman was talking this too. I said I think it might be advantageous for us to actually draft a running back. Ezekiel Elliott is the best person in that draft, and in the later rounds, pick a Dak Prescott. I think I actually said that on the show, and I didn't know that they were both gonna go to the daggone Cowgirls. But I was actually,
they didn't come out in the same draft, did they?
Yes, they did. He did. That's how they got him.
I thought Elliott came out.
Oh, because you got to remember,
wow.
Everybody was upset that Dak got Rookie of the Year instead of Ezekiel Elliott, and they played on the same team. Ezekiel Elliott got drafted number 4, I believe. I was actually thinking that we should have drafted Ezekiel Elliott number 2, in the 2nd or 3rd round. Drafted Dak Prescott because I did see him play against Alabama and be dominant. So I'm thinking,
all right, so that's a no. So you think we made a bad choice on?
I'm not gonna say no.
All right, Nichelle, what do you think? The last time we had a top 5 pick, it was Carson Wentz. We messed that up. Did we mess that up?
It's 50-50 today in this stage.
Yeah.
Right now, you can't call that. I mean, he helped get us to our Super Bowl. We can't ignore that. I mean, we really can't. He balled out that year, but since then, he's not helping get us back. So, he was good for the short term. Is he a good long term? Jury's still out.
All right, okay, that's fair.
Jury's
all right,
still out, and the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking.
The clock is definitely ticking. Now, the last time before that, oh no, what pick was
Lane Johnson?
Lane Johnson was the last. The next. Now, was that a bad pick?
That was a pretty good pick.
Yeah,
I think that was a good pick.
I mean,
we need O lineman. We need another O
lineman.
lineman now. We need another one now. So
where did we get Danny Watson? I mean, was he a top 5 pick?
Oh God, this is terrible.
Was he a top 5 pick? He wasn't a top 5 pick, right?
Hold on, I gotta look it up.
No.
No, Danny Watkins was drafted. He was a 1st round draft pick, but he was drafted number 13, I think.
Okay, all right, because that was a horrible pick. So I was just reliving, like, all right, our history with top 5 picks under Howie. That is, how bad have we swung and missed a lot on that? And I'm trying to make my case because you guys would rather have a team go to the playoffs knowing we're not going to win over a top 5 pick.
All right, sir. Are you ready, Dante? Are you ready for our last 1st round pick?
First 5, top 5.
All right. It was Carson Wentz, but I'm gonna go through the list of the top
under Howie.
Under Howie, okay? Because Howie started drafting Marcus Smith, Nelson Aguilar, Carson Wentz, Derek Barnett.
No, top 5. I know we know
Andre
he sucks.
Dillard.
I just want to say Andre Dillard was a top 5 pick.
He was He was in the 1st round. I'm just saying 1st round. We don't really get a lot of top 5 picks.
Stick to my question, because this is a debate.
We don't have that many top 5 picks,
right?
I'm going to answer that question.
But you said you would rather go to the playoffs and not win than to be 2-9 and have a top 5 pick.
He's mad at us.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm back to being realist Dante now. I'm just saying. It doesn't look good. I mean, anything can happen. It doesn't look good. But I don't know if I would not rather have a top 5 pick over seeing
Man, listen.
this team perform the way it's performing and not get any better, go to the playoffs.
Let's
I think I would have
let's
to play.
consider this. Let's consider this. Howie did pick JJ Ortega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf. Let's consider this. Howie did pick up injured Sidney Jones over anybody else. Over anybody else. And this guy's not even on our team.
I think it's tougher to find a good player outside of the top 5 than it is inside of the top 5. I think you know what? I think it's easier that the percentages are higher that you're going to find a good player in the top 5 in the draft rather than in the middle to late round of the first draft.
But you got to actually pick him. But you got to.
Yeah, I know you got to actually pick him. But I think the percentages go up, and the proof to me is he picked Carson Wentz, and the only top 5 picks that I know he's had is he picked Carson Wentz and Lane Johnson, and the jury's still out on Carson. We're not happy with Carson after the day, but I think he did a little bit better than. JJ, he didn't whiff like JJ Ortega-White. He didn't make a JJ Ortega-Whiteside pick in the top 5 yet. I don't think so. But I don't trust Howie anyway.
He did make that pick though. He did.
Yeah, he made that.
Listen,
that pick.
I know we really want to break this game down. I don't want to talk about this game. So what we're talking about is perfectly fine with me. but
well,
Sidney Jones.
I'm trying to distract.
Sidney Jones was a pick in the second round. That we could have just moved up 2 picks, right, and got a Dalvin Cook. Now, don't get me wrong. Miles Sanders is everything and more that we want, but we don't run the ball like we should with him, okay? Dalvin Cook is a game changer, period. He's a bruising running back, and he has the speed to break away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even if we make that pick, do we consider – are we the same offense that we are right now? Probably so. We're the same exact offense. So it always boils down to our offensive coordinator.
Right.
Doug Peterson has so much on his slate that giving up that play calling ability will help him in the long run. Andy Reid did it, and he was successful. He's able to go to one more NFC title game by giving up the responsibilities. And you see what he's doing over there in Kansas City. So you gotta drop your ego and say, you know what? I have to manage this whole game. Therefore, I need somebody to actually help or run the whole offense, and I can give input. That would be a better system.
All right, so it boils down to this, right? All right, so we're not getting the offensive production that we expect this team to get. Who do we put the blame on? We put the blame on Doug Peterson and his offensive play calling, or do we put it on the talent, which would probably lean towards Howie? Which one would you put more of the blame on? Is it Doug Peterson most blame, or is it the talent? These players are just not good enough. What do you say?
I'm telling you right now, is Doug Peterson not making these vanilla play calls? When you have such a vanilla play call, and every team in the league does a film study, and they know your tendencies. Like when you see this play that you then look through 1,000 times already in one day, in the course of the day, and you know the personnel, you know what spots to be at because you know where the ball is going to be thrown at. You're going to know where the ball is going to be run at. So you have to, as an offensive coordinator, you have to switch it up. You have to change it up. You can't be vanilla. And right now you're vanilla. Like your play calling is predictable, and that's sad.
All right, let me hit a couple comments, then I'll get Nichelle's opinion on that. All right, so JR says both. Robin says play calling is horrible. Floyd says it's Doug. Sue says it's both also. Sue says it's Doug and talent. Mm-hmm. All right, so what do you think, Nichelle? The reason why this offense is stagnant, is it the talent? We don't have enough talent, or is it play calling?
I think we have plenty of talent to get the job done. I definitely think it's the play calling. Again, I'm partial to the old school Eagles family, so I was kind of salty when Deuce didn't get the OC job. Mm-hmm. I thought he should have had a chance at calling the plays, and I thought we would have been a little bit more run focused, because we're all about running the ball. We are at least, but it seems like Doug isn't. And that's a problem. He definitely needs to relinquish play calling duties. And then on top of that, our players have to execute. Like you said, Sanders dropping balls. Pat, come on now. I know he's not Brian Westbrook, but come on, you got to catch them balls. You got to catch those balls. That's we always had running backs that could catch, or at least one that could catch. So they have to get it together on that side of the ball.
I agree. I lean towards this Doug too. And then my litmus test to that is what. All right, what's some of the offensive geniuses we have in the league now? We have McVay. We got our old buddy Andy Reid.
Eric
we got a
Bieniemy.
couple.
Eric Bieniemy is
Eric Bieniemy.
He's calling the plays in Kansas City.
Frank Reich. So I'm thinking, all right. So you give those coaches our talent. And are we going to put up more points? And I can't help but think that we would put up more points with any of those any of those offensive geniuses had our talent. We're easily putting up more points. So to that end, I say, the most of the blame goes on Doug Peterson for not getting the most out of this group. Even with the injured offensive line the way it was, these offensive minds will find a way to get the ball into the hands of the playmakers. Because that's all it is. It's getting you got some talent. You need to get the ball in their hands and let them do what they do best. I agree. Miles Sanders, you got to catch the ball. I do think that he has good hands. I think that he just had a bad game. But we can ill afford for him to have bad games at this time, at critical junctures of the game. He has got to make that 3-yard catch. You can't drop that. But I would say Doug is the biggest blame for this offensive lack of offensive productivity. That's what I would say. All right, some of the comments out there. Don't forget a real quarterback's coach also. Yeah, thanks. Great point. I talk about it. I don't think that Carlson is being coached correctly. Again, show glimpses of doing better, which, I'm not saying we should go praise and then have a parade and all that in the streets and stuff like that. But when we've been yelling for him to make better decisions, and I'm not saying he had a perfect game by no stretch of the imagination did he have a perfect game. But when we've been yearning for him to do something different than to make those dumbass turnovers and then come tell us in the post game, I know I got to do a better job, and contradict themselves 3 seconds later and say, but I'm not going to do anything different. You know what I'm saying? I know I got to get better, but I'm not going to do anything different. I finally saw a glimpse of him doing, at least attempting to do something different by throwing the ball away, taking more of the check down passes and stuff like that. So if that's any indication that he is moving in the right direction, I'll take that. But of course, I'm going to have to see it consistently. I'm not going to go for, okay, I saw a little bit today and then next week he throws 4 interceptions. That's not going to, it's not going to solve anything for me.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't know if you saw this, but I kept seeing this the whole game. And I'm not an offensive guy, I'm a defensive guy. But every time, and I see this a lot, and it befuddles me that these offensive coordinators don't pick up on it like I do. When I see a double stack, meaning I see a corner and a safety stepped on top of them, 9 times out of 10, that safety or that corner is blitzing, and that safety is there replacing. Every time that Julius Peppers was on the line of scrimmage or was close to a wide receiver near the line of scrimmage, he blitzed every single time. He didn't back off, not near one time. And I don't understand, when you see that package, it should be something in your head as a quarterback first and foremost, but as an offensive coordinator, when you make your changes at halftime or changes during the time that the defense defense on the field, say look for this, look for that. You have to pick up on these tendencies. And that's the thing that's befuddling me right now. They're not picking up on these tendencies of the defense. Defense are showing their hand all the time. And we're just like looking at it like, what are they doing? Like, come on. You got to understand what the defense is trying to do against you. If they're blitzing this direction, why not throw a screen back to that same direction? Don't throw the screen to the opposite direction and have the guy that's blitzing be able to run it down. No, throw to the same direction towards the blitz. That's what we used to do in Andy Reid's offense. Andy Reid was very particular when he ran a screenplay that he knew when they tipped their hand at what side they were blitzing, that's the same side he ran the same screen to. and that was wide open for some odd reason. I mean, I'm not an offensive coordinator. I don't know how he did it, but
All right, here's a comment. Marty Morningwig, however you spell it, is our offensive consultant. Let him call, get creative motion, shift, some type of electricity. What do you think about that, Nichelle? Is that a good idea right there?
Anybody better than Doug right now? Like seriously, seriously. It's just not working. And again, like I said this last week, it's so predictable. It's so predictable. No creativity, no different looks. You always know what play is about to happen. So the Eagles must be the easiest film to watch week by week because Doug hasn't tried one game to even switch it up. Like he's not digging in the crates for different plays and giving them different looks. You need to open up the whole playbook right now until you can figure out a rhythm for you to get it together. You can't be timid with it, and that's a huge problem. And sometimes it takes an outside perspective. And right now, I think he just can't see the forest from the trees, so he needs to turn those duties over to someone else.
And we always talk about Frank Wright and when he was in the building, how things were a lot different. I think that, and I have to say that I think one of the greatest influence he's had is that he was able to probably, for lack of better words, he was able to shake Doug sometime. Like, no, Doug, we got to run the ball now, okay? Like, we're not going to do that. We need to run that ball right now. And I don't think, I don't think Carson Wentz has anybody that's in his face to tell him that he needs to work on his fundamentals and mechanics and the such and the look underneath and take what the defense gives you. I don't think there's no one in the building that can challenge Doug Peterson also and get in his face and say, look, Doug, this shit ain't working. I mean, let's be blunt. I mean, like, this shit ain't working. We need to do something different. And this high school playbook you keep rolling out every week is not working. Let's face it. I mean, he was a high school coach, right? That was the highest coaching position he
he's
had.
offensive coordinator for KC.
I know, but I'm talking about prior to that. He had never been a head coach other than a high school team. And now he's the head coach, a Super Bowl winning head coach nonetheless, but he's a head coach now, and he's having difficulty. And it just didn't start with this game. It's been going on for a couple years now. Let's be frank. Let's be frank. Since Frank left.
I'll be honest with you. With that being said, like with Doug being not that creative, the one thing he can change if he's going to have these gimmick plays, especially with Jalen Hurts in the game, take Carson Wentz out the game.
All right, so Adrian says, give Doug another season, but put his job on the line and hire a quarterbacks coach and an offensive coordinator. We done tried three. This will be our third quarterback coach or fourth since Frank Wright and Philip left the building, and our offensive coordinator. So the only common denominator in all that is Doug is still here. And then see if it lights a fire in his team's belly. This one I like also. Anthony says, I bet if we bring in Jim Harbaugh or someone that knows football inside and out and yells at the players for playing lazy, things will change. You know, Doug doesn't seem – don't get me wrong. I think Doug yells. Don't get me wrong. I guess I'm sure he gets frustrated at what he sees. But like I asked you and Shell, since you guys played football, and even myself, I played basketball, but if you had a coach that came off as a player's coach, a soft type of coach, and then he wanted, and then he wanted midstream to change to this tough, no bullshit allowed type of coach. How much respect would you give him? He wouldn't get much respect. I've seen it.
Look at him like, you gonna give us ice cream tomorrow? You take away from today, but you gonna give it to us tomorrow. All right, cool, we good.
Right. You know what I mean? So I think that plays a part too, man. Well, I know Doug watches this, and he's not going to be happy with me. So, Doug, it's tough right now.
Yeah, just call us later.
Doug doesn't even know who the hell I am. All right, look, Deion Joe says, yo, Dante, invite Dougie P on the show. No, he's not coming on. Especially if he looks at this episode, he definitely ain't coming on. See if he's willing to face the people. I watch enough Doug Peterson press conferences to know that he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. And he goes on WIP and he faces Angelo. But that's something that's a whole lot different than him coming on and facing somebody like me.
Who have been drinking.
Yeah, who has been drinking. But I'm not
Yeah,
not
we're not
today though,
holding back.
Doug. I'm completely sober and I see the same thing I saw when I was drunk, Doug. I mean, like this stuff is not changing. All right, so David says, Doug is the Brett Brown. Oh wow.
Oh.
That's
Wait a
that's
minute.
appropriate. That's
Doug
appropriate.
got us over the hill. Wait a minute. Before you can go to Britt Brown, Doug got us over the hill. Britt Brown never got us over that hump. All right.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. That's the only thing he has, though. That's the only thing. Everything
Britt
else looks.
Brown,
He
wow.
resembles that comment. That comment.
Wow. I gotta smoke a cigar on that one, man.
All right, look, we're gonna take a shot for the road and we're gonna get out of here. But definitely, guys. Oh, we enjoy Ladies' Day on
Yes.
Eagles Talk.
gotta
The
do it again.
beautiful Nichelle. We got her out of the chat room and on. It's better on here. I mean, like we only get to see the profile pic, but now we get to see the living in live, beautiful Nichelle, and then we get to hear all the knowledgeable commentary that she gives. So we're definitely gonna have Nichelle back. If we can get her a green screen, she might be a regular. All right. So
Okay.
anyway, here we go. Let's
blue
pour
screen.
this.
Blue screen. Make sure it's
Oh,
blue.
blue screen. Yeah, blue screen. All right, here we go. Let's pour this last. Oh, darn. I got to talk about this comment, too. All
Which
right, but
one?
anyway, this last one. All right, so here we are to our Philadelphia Eagles. They have lost and have distracted and deflected long enough. I guess we got to get out of here. Man, I'm drinking the water. She's drinking the tequila. He's drinking the tequila. You guys drink a lot to numb this pain, but please drink responsibly. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
That's how we
Dion
should be.
says, I see the same stuff when I was drunk, quoting me, Dante the Dark Child. Dante the Dark Child. All right, okay, everybody.
Thanks,
I'm going to
Dion.
I'm gonna get a lot of comments in the message. Yeah, bring down. Okay, so we'll be in touch.
He called me in
Michelle.
an experiment, though. I don't know how I feel about that.
Nah, you're not.
All right.
You-
We thank you.
You're,
Our
you're a
other
regular.
female co-host. Yes, our other female co-host. She's a little under the weather. She communicated with me after the pregame, so that's why she was not able to make it here for the postgame. But we do thank Tifa Schefter for joining us during the pregame and making Ladies' Day what it was. We especially thank Nichelle for coming on and helping us out. And don't you guys worry. We will see Nichelle in the future. I
That's a
promise.
good question right here.
Okay. What question at this point?
Ray Rose. What is
Oh.
Ray Rose doing? That's a good question.
No,
What is he
no.
doing?
Yeah.
Maybe defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he was colorful too in the press conference. I
Yes,
like
he
Ray
was.
Rose. All right, so we're gonna see you guys on Thursday. We're out of here. Take us out, Pat.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback crack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 hit him. Listen. It's Eagles talk high, let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat, Shell, and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on 'em.